Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Data Touch. As part of our Databricks 101 series, today I will be discussing about Databricks Views. This is the eighth video in our series. If you have not checked our previous modules, please do check them out. Let's get started. What are Databricks Views? Have you wondered how massive teams across the departments will be sharing real-time insights without duplicating data or without breaking pipelines? The secret lies with how you define your Databricks views. Databricks views, much like the views in RDBMS, are the virtual tables which store no physical data. Most likely, it will happen that we'll be having certain tables in our Databricks. Let us say here, table 1 and table 2. Our data analyst may need data from table 1 and table 2 in a certain manner. That's when we can write a query that may join the records from T1 and T2, and result of that query can be saved as view. That way, the views are virtual tables which which are going to just store the query text in the Databricks. Remember, for views, only the query text which is used for creating the view will be stored in the Databricks meta store. When you happen to query the view, the underlying tables will be queried to fetch the data. So if this is your view, this would have been created with some select statement. So when you fire a query against this view, in turn, the data is actually fetched from the underlying tables. This is a very crucial aspect here. Fine. So then what are the different types of views we have in Databricks? In Databricks, we have, I could say, roughly six different views. First one is a normal view. Second is temp view. The third is variation of the temp view, which we call global temp view. Fifth one is materialized view. Sixth is lateral view. And last one is a dynamic views. We will talk about each one of them and we will see through the hands-on how they are different from each other. Before I proceed to the hands-on section, few important points for you. The global temporary views are a legacy from the Hive. So Databricks doesn't recommend using the global temp views. And these global temp views are not supported in the SQL warehouses. Second important thing is the lateral views are deprecated as of Databricks 12.2 version. They are still useful and being used by the developers in Hive and Spark, but in Databricks, okay, it's not recommended to use them. Instead, we can be using the table value generated functions. The dynamic views are something that we can use in conjunction with Unity Catalog for controlling the access to the data of the tables. We can apply control at the row level and the column level. We can use the dynamic views for redacting. For example, certain personal information is there, then that data we may have to redact it or mask it for certain category of the users. That can be done with the dynamic views. Fine, let us look at the hands-on now. I'm in my Databricks workspace. I have opened a notebook and I have connected it to the cluster. This happens to be the serverless cluster. I'm using it. Let us see how the views are going to work. First, I'm considering the normal views. As I told you, mostly views are created from the existing table. Let us create a table quickly. One second. Create table SC as select star from values. Let me say simply two values here. One the name, second is the mail. As name, comma, email. So this way we can provide quickly some content onto our table, right? So with that, we should be creating the table now. Create table st as select star from values. So let us check on it. Yes, the table is created. Let us check the contents of it. Here, we should not be using quotes. It is just the names of the columns. Fine. Let us check here. Select star from ST. Let us do. We can see that the value is inserted into it. Let us create a view now. See, for the table that we have created, we should be having the table created here. Let us refresh. ST table is created. We can observe it from the catalog. Let us create a view now and see whether it will be listed here or not. I'm going to new cell. Let's say create view. Create view ST view, I will say, as select. Let us get uppercase of the name. Fine. And email as email itself from ST. Fine. Create view. The view name ST view as select upper of the name, comma email from ST. Let us do it. Let us execute. It's done, and let us refresh and check here. What's happening? Even we have entry for view in our catalog, just like our table. Great. But then please remember only the query text. Only this definition is stored in the meta store. Actual data is not stored. Fine. How can we fetch content from here? We can say select star from st underscore view. Correct? Fine. Let us execute it. Okay. Typo. It is W. Let us execute. Fine, it's done. And you could see that we have the name in uppercase. What will happen if the new data is inserted into the table? Let us insert a few records into the table, maybe one record. Insert into ST, values, some data. Let us insert. Let me just select and execute this. One second. Fine. The record is inserted now. Let us check what happens to the content of the view. When we queried the last time, it was giving only the first record to us. Now we have updated our table, and if we do select star from the view again, you can clearly see our view will be fetching the latest data as well. It's because it is just the definition. When we execute query against the view, the data is actually fetched from the original table. So this is clear. And these views exist permanently in your Databricks metastore. Even if you detach this notebook from the cluster or the warehouse, it will be still there. Let us check it out. Let us detach it and reattach it. detach will happen, and then we will be reattaching. Even after that, if I execute query against my view, I should be seeing the result. Yes, it is there, clear. So that was our normal view. Let us create a temporary view now. I will pick this same old previous definition. I go to the new cell. Here, I will simply make small changes. I will say create temp view. I will call it as stTMP view. Content wise and all, let us keep it the same. As of now, we have two entries in our default. One is ST and one more is ST view, that is table and view are there. Now we are creating the temporary view. Let us observe what will happen to this hierarchy. Let us refresh. Do we see entry here? No. So for a temporary view, no entry is created in our catalog. But if you tend to query it, it should be same like earlier one. But then what's the difference? The difference is with respect to the scope, how long they will exist. The temporary views are existed only in the active session or the active notebook that we have. Let us check the result now. We have the data, well and good. Let us go for checking the tables, show tables. Let us say this cell, let us change it to SQL. It says here we have few different tables and all of them are in default. SC is a table, ST view, but they are not temporary in nature. That's why false we have. But this temp view, right? Is it temporary in nature? Yes, it says. Fine. Good then. Now, to understand the scope of this temporary view, let me detach this notebook from the cluster and reattach it. Detach and reattach we are doing. Fine. It happened. Let us query that temporary view again. Or before that, let us check the tables as well. If I check for them, those temporary table, right? It's no not there. And obviously, right, if we go for executing query against it, we will get nothing. And there is error because that view itself doesn't exist. Fine. So that way, these temporary views have very less scope. They will be accessible only within the same notebook. And if you change the notebook also, you can't see them. And if you detach and reattach the notebook, again, they are gone. So that way, they have very limited scope. Fine. Next up, let us see the variation of the temporary view, which is nothing but global temporary view. So over here, I will just make small changes. Create temp view. In front of the temp view, I will have here one more global temp view. Create global. So this time, to create a global temporary view, you have to just add the global keyword. I will make it as GTMP. Fine. And let us execute it. It says these kind of views are not supported in serverless compute. This is what I was mentioning you earlier. Fine, we can't define global temporary views in the SQL warehouses and the serverless. Serverlesses are the serverless compute is powered by SQL warehouses, so we don't have it. If you happen to work with your general compute, you can check them out. It should be working fine for you. Or otherwise, let us quickly check them from the community edition. For showing you the materialized views, I picked up on the serverless compute. It may take a while. Let me just spin up this cluster. While this happens, right, we will continue with this previous discussion. This global thing won't happen here, so we will test it out from our community edition. Rest of the other things, let us explore upon. Let us see now about the lateral views. So lateral views are something that we will be using to work with kind of, the complex data. I took the simple example earlier, right? For now, let us say I have a table, something like this, which is involving certain, uh, I could say, complex data. Okay, so I'm instead using the view create or replace temp view users as select star from values, and you could see here I am inserting the complex type. So it is array of email IDs for a given user we are using. So that way I'm creating a view which is going to have two records. Now, while working with this view, let us see how we can actually break out the contents of this complex column. Select star from users. If I say, we should see that we have here emails as array of strings. If you expand, you can see the contents for each cell is nothing but array of elements, right? So basically, our column is of array type having strings inside it. So how do we go about fetching the data from this array? So that we are extracting the individual elements. What we can do here is I can say select name, comma, email from users, and I can say excuse lateral view explode. What's our column? Our column name is emails. I have to pick here emails. So this is going to give us a lateral view, the exploded version of it. Let us call it as T, a kind of a very virtual temporary table that is there as email, right? The individual elements we bring out of after explosion is the email, and the same one we are picking here. So this way, if I go about executing it, you could see that this time we have it splitted. Fine. Earlier, against allies, we had array of emails, but this time each element is present in its own row, correct? Uh, so allies is repeated twice, and for each of the element in the array, we have the row entry here. So this way, lateral views are helpful while working with the structured data, but this is a legacy, and Databricks doesn't recommend using it. Instead, what can be done here is we will remove this lateral view part. We can remove this off as well. And this method, whatever we have, we can put it across here itself. Okay, and we will remove this. So this is what we should be doing, and it gives us much readability also, right? So that's what Databricks says, get rid of the lateral views and instead just use the table value generated functions like this to improve upon the readability. So with that, we are done with these uh, lateral views as well. Next, what we have is a materialized view. And in this materialized view, let us try to create here and check if it is going to work. So create materialized view as, let us keep the definition same as above. I will share across this notebook later for you. You can check it out from my GitHub account. Fine. Create a materialized view as select uppercase of the name and email from ST, let us say. Let us see what will happen. Will I be able to create them in the notebook or not? Let us observe it. Materialized views, basically what they do is, as the name says here, for example, let us say table is there, and out of that we will be creating a view, right? 1 second, we'll look at that later. So let us say when we created the materialized view, there were three records here, and you wrote some logic here, and accordingly, the data is actually fetched. Okay, data is actually fetched and stored. Okay, for the materialized view. That's why it is the view which has the data, which is materialized. They are like tables, but then they are derived from the original table. Okay, they are like tables, but they are derived from the original tables. Fine. And data is already pre-computed, and they do have the physical data with them, so that whenever we query against the materialized view, again this query need not be executed. Fine, it is pre-computed, and we will be getting the data very fast to display our dashboards and all. Fine, let us look at what is the issue here. Um, create a materialized view as a select from st, but st we do have it, right? Let us check upon it. It says tabular view st cannot be found, but we do have it. Let me give the complete name, otherwise. Let me check this here. That's all. We have it as a workspace, and here, right, we can try to insert its name. Fine. Let us check upon now. Please feel free to fast forward this section. Fine. Uh, you could see that materialized views are something that we can't create within the notebook. Let us give a try from the SQL editor. We have the SQL editor here. Same thing, I'm just copying, and here the editor is open. I will put across the same statement, create materialized view as so and so. Let us start the serverless warehouse here. I may need to start it. It's not up and running. Let me go to compute and check what's happening there. It is there, but it is in stopped state. So let me start it. Yes, very quick, right? Serverless one. We got it up and running in no time. It may take a while because I'm using the personal edition of the Databricks. We may have lesser computing and all. For materialized views, it may take a while for this to set up. Now you could see that this operation is successfully executed. Are the materialized views stored under here? Uh, excuse. In the catalog, let us check through. You could see that we do have, what's the name I have given? Name I didn't give. So it became AS, right? Create materialized view. I should give the name here, and then I have to say alias. So this is our materialized view. You can observe here. Materialized view is created. We can try to fetch data from here. Let us check upon, let me make some room and let us say select star from as yes, correct? Will this be fine? Let us check upon it. Great, we got it. But then let us insert some record into ST and check what will happen. Insert into ST values and let us give some name and mail ID here. Insert into ST the values, comma, right? So let me execute the insert query first. Done. Let us query our view now, the materialized view. To execute the individual statements, you should be highlighting it. Those three statements are here. I just want to execute this one, so we will be highlighting and we will be fetching. So what do you observe here? Our table has three records now because I've inserted one more record into the ST table, but still my materialized view, which we created earlier as of the previous version of the table, had only two records. That's why we don't see the fresh data. So how do I go about updating my materialized view? For that, we will be doing refresh materialized view and we will give the name of the view and let us check it. It says that operation is successfully executed. Let us try to fetch the content from the materialized view now. You can see we have the updated data. So this way materialized views can be refreshed using the refresh command. So with that, we covered upon the normal view, temporary view, materialized view. Let us look at the global temporary view as well. One second. Let me go to my community edition. Here, we tried creating the global temporary view from the serverless connected notebook and it was throwing error. Let us try to create the global temporary view in our community edition and see what will happen. But this table also I don't have. So I have to quickly replicate upon the table as well. So let me grab upon that information too. Great. One second. We'll do it quickly. Create table. And out of that, we are creating the global temporary view this time. Correct. Let me connect it to the cluster. Cluster is up and running. Let us execute it. Hopefully, this should be working fine. We should have the global temporary view created for us. But do we see it here? In the community edition, the kind of catalogs you see, okay, they will be different. Instead of the workspace catalog or some other catalog, we have just one which is called as Hive Meta Store. It is still working upon it. Let it happen. Fine. The view is created for us, but then, okay, it's not listed in our catalog hierarchy. Only ST is there, which is a table, but we don't have this ST global temp view, right? It's not listed there. Then how do we go about querying this view? Let us first execute the show tables and see if it is listed for us. It's the Python cell. So we should have here the SQL cell. Great. It's not listing, right? It's not listing in show tables. Then where is it created? Let us check something like show tables in global underscore temp. Fine. Let us check upon now. You could see that these global temporary views are getting created in a specialized database called global underscore temp. And these are also temporary in nature. But how different these are from the normal temporary views? We will check upon it. Let us try to query the contents of it. It should be same as the any other query statement against the table or the view. But we have to remember that these global temporary views are created in global underscore temp database. So we have to mention it. Dot, okay, student global temporary view. So this is the way we have to query the global temporary view. It should work and we will be getting the result. What you have to understand here is that if you detach the notebook from the cluster and if you reattach also, it is detached now and let us again attach it. Blue circle, now the green circle. Correct? It is attached again. If I execute the query or otherwise if I check through whether it is still present in the global temp database or not, what do you think? It is still there, right? So though you detach and attach the notebook, we still have this global temporary view in the global temp database, right? Likewise, this this global temporary view will be accessible from the other notebook also. If you just create a new notebook and if you happen to execute this query in that notebook as well, we should get the result. But this didn't happen for the normal temporary view, correct? I hope you remember that. Yes, it is still working. So it has broader scope compared to the normal temporary view. But are they same as the normal views then? No. If you stop this cluster, right? If you happen to restart the cluster, the global temporary views are gone. So they are scoped at the cluster level. Okay, they are tied to the active cluster, and if you restart the cluster, they are vanished, right? So this is the difference we have. So with that, we covered upon the different other view that was the global view. Now what we have, the last one is the dynamic view. Dynamic views are something that we create for controlling the access. Let us quickly take one example. I think the time is getting extended. I will say here, okay, a simple view to be created like this. Let us check upon it. Fine. Let me go to the editor, SQL editor. What are we doing here? Let us take a look. Create view, mail redacted view as select the name, upper name. It is the uppercase name, right? That's why I have given it as uname. But then observe. So based on the user who is accessing the view. Okay, we are going to restrict the content displayed for a given column. Here I have hard coded, but we have better ways of doing this. Dynamically, we will be fetching who is the current user, and we will check whether that user is member of certain group or not. If he is member of HR group, then he could see the email properly. If he is not member of the HR group, we will be just maybe restricting. Let us say if he is the analyst, we don't make him available of the entire mail. Maybe we will just give him the domain part of the email. So that way we can restrict it. So this st underscore view, we have it right. It's here. The name is different. So let me just update it. So it is just st underscore vw. Fine. Let us check up on it and the names also. Right. Let me just insert it here. The names are different. I will insert the column name, which happens to be the, okay, we can rename it if required. So here, if left hand side and right hand side are same, the contents of the email should be as it is. But otherwise, we are going to extract only the domain part of it and we will expose it as mail column, right? Let us execute and check what will happen. There are some errors, it says. Just a second. Let me just fix it and I will. The comma was missing after the first column. And now let us see, we have the result here. Left hand side is equals to right hand side. That's why we see the mail as it is. Let us deliberately introduce some mistake here so that this clause is not okay executing to true and we should be getting the else part. This view is already there, so fine. The select star query, right? I didn't update it. It is view 2 now. Let us select upon and execute it. You could see that we don't have the complete email address this time. Okay, so with that, all the different types of the views are completed, but we should be avoiding using the lateral views and global temp views as much as possible. And all other views are quite important for us. The materialized views, most likely, right, we tend to use them in our ETL pipelines, which are powered by the Delta Live tables. We will discuss upon that in the upcoming video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.